Hello amigos, welcome back to my channel. This is Antidote Jack, and here today I'm with a coding video. Yes, and today we're going to make an accessible web form. What about that? Okay, let me show you what we're going to achieve over here, what our goal is. So let's open up the web browser, this one, and this is, wait a minute, I can't see anything. Have I Have I gone blind? What's going on? Okay, let me turn on the screen reader.
Screen reader on.
Okay.
Sign made.
What?
Accessible web form. Mozilla Firefox frame. Dark mode.
Okay.
Visited link.
Okay. I guess we could hit the tab key.
Leaving navigation. Accessible web form heading level 1.
Oh, this is an accessible web form. How convenient. Good. Let's keep tabbing through it.
Tab. Sign up.
Oh, it's a sign up form.
Tab. Fill out your personal information in order to sign up to our community. Fill out your personal information in order to sign up to our community.
Okay. Why you said it twice? The first time I understood.
Tab. List with 6 items. Username, select your username. Entry, select your username. Focus
Okay. So here we have a username entry. So
Right shift warning. Make sure the username is at least 4 characters long, without special characters. Browse mode.
oh, we have a warning. That's what I told you, that we need a JavaScript file, a JS file, so we can, trigger warnings, form validation, regular expression, and all that kind of good stuff that we like. So let's toggle the view over here.
Visited link.
So as you can see, this web form, it is available already.
Search with Yahoo.
varelaonline.com/accessible/form. Okay, it's already there, and we're going to code it over here. Let me clean up the screen here. Okay, so this is our end goal. So let me tell you a little bit about the Orca screen reader. Well, not me. Let's Orca do it by itself.
Orca is a screen reader for people with visual impairments. It provides alternative access to the desktop by using speech synthesis and Braille. Unselected. Orca works with applications and toolkits that support the Assistive Technology Service Provider Interface at SPI, which is the primary assistive technology infrastructure for Linux, and Solaris selected.
Let's start coding this. Here we have our HTML template. I'm not going to be focused on all the HTML tags in here. I'm just going to be focused in the part of the form, which is going to be right here. Okay. So let's open up our form tag. And let's close this one, and I can just copy all my files, and it is copied. So now instead of opening this file locally, we're going to open our virtual server, and let's go to the address, which is 10, yeah, this one, and the folder is one accessible. And what we have over here? What do we have over here? Okay, let's go to the dark mode. It's working. So let's see our JavaScript file. Let's clear this thing over here. Let's see our JavaScript file. Good. So here we have a couple of variables declared already, where these are not variables, these are constants. And here we have the toggle dark mode function. This function is listening for events in this element. So this element is listening for the key press and the click event. So the toggle mode constant is a node with the ID of toggle dark. So I'm not going to give a demonstration how to make this happen. I'm just going to assume that you know how to manipulate the DOM with JavaScript. And now we're going to start focusing on the form. So first, let's make the elements of our form, because at the moment this form is empty. So let's edit here, index. Here's our form. So we're going to, right here, we're going to make a form title, which is going to be heading 1. And after that, we want a little description about the form. Let's push that, okay, to see what do we have at the moment. Oh, before pushing that, let's give it a tab index to the form first. The default one is 0, okay? I want everything to flow in one way. And let's refresh our browser. And here we have it. Let's call Orca to read this one.
Tab. Leaving navigation. Accessible web form heading level 1.
And I guess we keep adding elements to the form. So let's make now over here on order list tag. And here our first element is gonna be a label. And I will say label with the for attribute, which is gonna be equal to name. And I name it name. And then I want my input here with an ID, which is going to be equal to name. So the label element, it will point to this ID, which happens to be name. Are you following me? Are you following me? Okay. So the input name is going to have the name. I don't know. name, and let's give it a class name. A class, which is the class tab able. Tab able. So this is in order, this class in CSS is in order to make the highlight, okay, when you're tabbing or when you hover over something. So that's the purpose of that class. And what else do we need? We want a tab index. Of course, we want a tab index. And let's put the tab index after the ID. We're here, tab index. And it's gonna be equal to the default one, which is 0. So we have the class, and we want a placeholder. And we're going to end this tag input right here. And after that, we're going to close the label. Oh, sorry, I have a typo on the opening tab. So I have to arrange this one. Well, now it's well written. So we're going to save this one. And here it is. Here we have it. So we have an input name. So let's make the rest of the elements. Okay, so we save this. Let's see what we have over here. So one thing you can notice right away is that we need to give our inputs type, because not all of these are text. For example, hello world. So this is a password field. This is not supposed to be showing you text. So we need to give the type property of a password field. The same with this one. Let's go and give them some type properties. So let's SCP that again. Let's see what we have now. Okay, it's looking way better now. So let's tap through this one. And it is tabbing. So this is already accessible as it is. Okay, well, it has some level. It has some level of accessibility, but it doesn't have any feedback. Like if I'm in dark mode, how am I supposed to know, like, if I type something wrong? I need to give some feedback. So that's what we're going to do with our JS file with JavaScript. And here I already have some nodes from the DOM elements. Let me link it up. This one over here. So the form, the whole form, this one over here. So the user is the input user. Oh, this ID, we have to change this ID. So we already identified all our nodes over here, or our input nodes. And when we tap over them, we want to validate them before the form is submitted. So first, let's stop the form from being submitted. So I say my form that on submit is going to be equal to a function called it's going to be an event, and on the event we're going to prevent default. So with this line the form won't submit. Let's console log this one. That's what we're going to make first. Console that log. So we have the username, the email, the pass, the confirmation of the password, and the checkbox. So we're going to validate them before submitting. So let's make a switch. Okay, I want the username to be larger than 4 characters. So if the username length of the username, that value, okay, value, that length is less than 4, we're going to warn the user and we're going to break. And the default is that the form is going to pass. So let's make the default right away. Let's clear this up. Let's go. Let's put a password. Another password. Let's hit enter. Okay, it's working. It's working. So let's remove the dot over here and let's try to pass. Oh, the email is not valid. If we insert the dot over again, the form passes. So they are validated now, but we're not showing any warnings. Okay, we need to show some warnings. Let's get up to work then. Let's go to the index HTML and on the label here, after the name, we want to add a paragraph. And it's going to be an empty paragraph. And now let's go and place a warning on the main.js file. Put over here that we want to target the node, which is the user input, the node previous and we're going also to add focus to the element. So let's try that for the username first to see if it's working. We're going to refresh our browser. And let's make this username only 3 characters long, and we're going to hit tab. Okay, didn't see any warnings. Oh, of course it's not going to happen. I still have typos. And I need to upload this to the virtual server And I need to refresh the page. And I need to submit the form again. And here we have it. Here we have it. We have our warning over here. Go to the HTML file and let's go to the paragraph over here and add the class name. Warn. I guess I have to do the same over here. Same thing on every element. Okay, let's go to the JS file now and add the same for the other nodes. So every time you leave one of those nodes, it's going to validate before you submit. So I want to make a function to call this function from any kind of event. Okay? So let's make that function right away. And I think here will be a great place. Validate username. Yep. And we're going to copy all of this. All of this. We're going to paste it here. And this is going to be an if statement. It's going to return false, else. And we want to hide, or not hide it, we want to erase the text. So we're going to copy this line and we're going to make this blank. Yeah. Now we're going here back to the case and we're going to call that function. The name is validate username. Okay. And I need to make a function, a similar function for each one of those. So we can call it not only from this event listener, but from other event listeners that I will be adding later. Okay, so I already made the functions. I need to test them. So let's go and let's upload it first. Good. So the warnings are working. Now let's make another event listeners. For every node, we want to listen to the blurred event to check if the field is valid in order to decide if we should trigger the warning or not. So here in the user node, blur is going to be equals to a function username. I think that's the name we put to the function. And let's do the same for the rest of the functions. So we're going to copy this line. I'm going to paste it a couple of times. I'm saving this and I'm uploading this to the server now. So I hit tab.
The username has to be at least 4 characters long and without special
Same things
tag.
happens. Okay, now I place a longer name and hit tab.
Email, insert your email entry, insert your email.
It cleared the warning and let me go to the next field.
And conditions checkbox not checked.
No warn on the previous one because there wasn't any issues. And we have a warn here.
And conditions before submit.
Good. So I tap again.
conditions 1. You have to agree with the terms and conditions before submit. Checkbox not checked. Space. Checked.
Good.
Tab.
Tap.
Sign up push button.
And the push button, I click enter.
Return.
What happened? Nothing happens because we're not doing anything with the form. We just validate it, but we're not submitting it. And I think that's the next step. We're going to submit that form. So here, when we prevent the form submission, now we check, we validate the fields. If the fields, they are all valid, we want to pass to the next step, which will be submitting the form. Here you will do something like a fetch to a route in your server, something like that. But this is only for the demonstration. I'm not going to fetch anything. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to hide the form. So I say, oh, sorry, here, form display equals to none. I can hide the form, and then I will show a success message, header, that style, that display equals to black, to display black. And not only that, I'm going to focus on that element right away, so the screen reader lets you know right away that the form was submitted. So I say header that focus, just like that. And now we're in the dark mode, and I press tab.
Leaving navigation. Accessible web form heading level 1.
And I hit tab again.
Sign up to our wonderful community with your personal information.
Good.
Tab. List with 6 items. Name, insert your username entry tag selected. Focus mode.
Okay.
Tab. Email, insert your email entry tag at signhello.world selected. Tag. Unselected.
Good.
Tab. Password, insert a password text.
Password text.
1. Enter a stronger password. Browse mode. Jack at signhello.world. Unselected. Tab. Password 1. Enter a stronger password.
Oh, a stronger password.
Password text. Focus mode.
So I'm gonna insert now my password. Let me scroll this up so you can see it way better here.
Wallet.
I tab it.
Password, confirm the password text. Wallet.
Not that strong password.
1. The passwords must be identical. Browse mode. Tab. Confirm password 1. The password, wallet. I agree to the terms and conditions. Checkbox checked. Browse page. Not checked. Tab. 1. You have to agree with the terms and conditions before submit.
Oh,
Tab.
I need to agree.
Checked. Tab. Sign up push button.
I guess I have to push it.
Return. Form submitted successfully. Heading level 2.
Oh, success, amigos. So I think we made it. So let's wrap it up. Thank you for joining me. I hope you leave your comments. Remember to leave your comments. And see you in the next video. See you guys.